Hello, teachers. I'm really glad you're here. My name is Seth Perler. I'm an executive function coach out of Colorado, and I help struggling students navigate this thing called education so that they can have a great life. And thank you for signing up for my micro course here. Now, I made a micro course with 4 videos, but you are watching video number 5 right this second. The reason you're watching video number 5 is because after I completed the whole course, which was a lot of work, I realized that I really want you to know how parents feel before I get into this whole series. So, the reason I think it's important for you to know how parents feel at the very beginning of this is because it sets the stage for the depth of this problem. The problem is that a lot of teachers don't even know what executive function is, and those that know what it is often just know a little bit about it. You haven't had trainings on it oftentimes. You may not have been taught about it in college. I was a teacher for 12 years. I didn't even hear about executive function until the end of my teaching career. So there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of a lack of information. And unfortunately, kids are suffering needlessly because this information that is available is not getting to people. So I want to help you understand how some parents feel. I hear these things all the time, and this should set the stage for the rest of the series. One thing I hear a lot is that parents will say, the teacher doesn't get my kid. The teacher doesn't take time to get my kid. The teacher thinks that it's a won't rather than a can't. In other words, the teacher just thinks my kid's being willful, that they're not trying. They just need to try harder. They just need to be more motivated. They need to just care more about school. They need to put forth more effort, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, try harder, all these messages. My kid's lazy, whatever they're saying, the teacher doesn't get my kid. The next thing that they say is that they feel that their kid is not being treated fairly. So oftentimes these parents feel like their child is being asked to do something that they are not able to do and then being judged in a way that is unfair. One thing that they sometimes think is unfair is they'll say, yeah, the teacher gave my child a 0 even though they did the work, but they forgot to put their name on it and they're just being punitive and trying to teach them a lesson. Or a lot of times for 6th graders in particular, teachers will say, yeah, we're trying to teach them responsibility, yet the kid is suffering with lower grades or punishments of some sort. They don't have the skill to be as responsible as they are expected to be. They'll say, yeah, my kid got a 0. Now they're even less motivated to do the thing. They turned it in. They didn't get any credit for it. They didn't even get 50% credit, or they did well on the thing, but it was late and they got docked 50% credit, and now they're even less motivated. So things like this I hear a lot. Sometimes I hear parents, they'll say, yeah, the teacher said it was optional. And anytime the teacher says it's optional, my kid's not going to put any effort into anything like that. So that's something that happens. Sometimes parents will say that the teacher says to the kid will go ask the teacher for help. They'll go ask for, hey, can you explain that to me? Or can you tell me what we're supposed to do? And the teacher will say, you should have been paying attention. And they'll use shame rather than addressing the problem, and that makes their child less likely to ask for help again. A lot of times these parents will say, my kid has no idea what's going on in class, because their kid really doesn't know. They really are at a loss. These kids really struggle with executive function, and they don't know what's going on, but they don't feel empowered to ask the teacher. They don't feel emotionally safe to ask the teacher what's going on in class. So they hide, and they have compensatory strategies that keep them stuck. So parents will often say that they don't even know what's going on in class. They can't figure out what's going on with the portal. They never know what grades are updated, when they're updated, which teachers update them. All the teachers are on different pages, what portals to check, when to check those portals, and things like that. So they'll say things to me like, how am I supposed to help my kid? How am I supposed to support my kid if I can't even find the information in a reliable way? So that's a problem that I hear a lot. A lot of times parents will tell me that they are afraid of retaliation. So parents are often afraid to ask teachers for clarification because they're afraid that the teacher is going to take it out on their kid. I've heard this so many times, it's not even funny. Sometimes parents will say, yeah, the teacher is rigid. The teacher's just too rigid. They're set in their ways. A lot of times parents will complain that their kid is being assigned a lot of busy work. And a lot of times parents complain that teachers don't understand how long it takes their child to do the busy work. So if it's something that is not meaningful to them or not purposeful, or takes them a long time, a lot of parents say that teachers don't understand that their child has legitimate executive function struggles, legitimate attentional difficulties, and legitimate processing issues. Anytime you have attentional issues combined with processing issues, those kids take way, way, way longer to get things done. So that is that they feel like that teachers don't understand how long it really takes and how many homework battles they're having, that it interferes with their relationship. And I'm not saying that the homework that you're assigning isn't good or valuable or whatever in some way, but they don't feel like you understand what they're going through, and that you don't ask, and so these kids who struggle with executive function, it's just the pile gets higher and higher and higher for them, and becomes insurmountable. It's not just a simple just try harder kid. There's a lot going on here. Parents often complain that teachers don't understand the legitimacy of attentional executive function or processing issues. I also hear that a lot of times parents feel like teachers don't understand that there's something else going on that they can't share with you. For example, if there is a trauma history that the child has experienced, if there was abuse or divorce or a parent's addiction or violence, things you may not even know about may have been going on or may still be going on that they are dealing with, that is interfering with this child's ability to execute. Parents will complain that a teacher shames their child or is being contemptuous or condescending, and that they'll also say things like, yeah, my kid thinks the teacher hates him, or my kid thinks all their teachers hate them. And then the last thing I want to mention that I hear from parents a lot of times is, and this is one of the saddest things that I ever hear, is that parents will say, we are just waiting for this school year to be over. And that's a sign that they have given up on the school, given up on the teacher. They just want their kid to get out of this teacher's class and have a fresh start in the fall. And it's such a sad place because it doesn't have to be like that. So they're just waiting for the school year to be over. So anyhow, teachers, these kids need you desperately. The reason I made this course is to empower you. The reason I made this particular video is not to shame you or make you feel bad or put down teachers in any way, but we have to have an honest dialogue about what's going on. And I wanted to be honest in this video and tell you honestly what parents are going through, so that you teachers who are interested in being of service to these kids and these families, you teachers who really just want to figure out how to be of maximum service, and you just want to figure out what you need to know so you can help these kids, so that we can have better dialogue and better truth about how to help these kids. So anyhow, these kids need you desperately, and they need you to understand executive function, because it does not need to be like this. So again, this course, the 4 videos that are coming up, are a starter. You can follow my work. You can follow other people who do executive function stuff. A lot of teachers follow my work. If you like what I'm doing and this is helpful, please follow me on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up and a like. That helps my message get out there. And please share this with other teachers. Having said all that, welcome to video number 1, which is technically video number 2, which will be the next video in this series. Thank you for being here. See you soon.